Do you want Trump to be king of America, dictator of
I
America?
I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind that. I think, I think what he's doing with Canada is horrible. I think we should just go ahead and just invade.
The whole point that I was making is that Americans would rather vote for a rapist, a 34-time felon, a scam artist. How long did the Democrats go on calling him a fascist and a threat to democracy?
Oh, I'm a
And
Democrat that still says that today.
They're all true. Everything you just said.
I know
Everything
it's
you just
true.
said was true.
I know
Yeah.
it's true. My point is, I know it's true. I believe those things about Trump. But my point is, more people still voted
Yeah.
for Trump
Yeah,
over
yeah, yeah.
Harris,
So then
despite all
why-
of those things.
Why'd you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump because I want the United States empire to be expanded, and I think Trump's the guy to do it. I think we should take Canada. I think Canada is a national security risk.
You're
so,
trolling.
yeah.
You're trolling.
No, I can give reasons if you would like me to.
The friendliest country in the world is a national security risk?
Yeah, would you like to know why?
After
So,
you answer
yes,
my
if
one
we-
question, you called America an empire.
Yes.
Who rules
Yes.
empires?
The leaders.
Who are the leaders? Is it a Congress or a king and a queen?
You can have both. In this case, it would be Congress, but because Trump is in power, majority people side with Trump. People in power side with Trump. So I would say Trump would be our leader.
Do you want Trump to be king of America, dictator of America?
I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind that. I think, I think what he's doing with Canada is horrible. I think we should just go ahead and just invade. I'll be honest with you. I think
So-
they really, yeah. So if you would let me, I'll go ahead and tell you. So the Canadian government did an audit on their military, it was 8 months ago, and found out that they can only last 3 hours in a full scale war when it comes to ammunition. That is terrible. That means if China or Russia or any other country that wants to really fuck with us and harm the United States could go through easily through Canada and take Canada, and then they're right on our borders.
Okay. So here's the thing. First and foremost, just to respond to that terrible fucking argument that I've never heard
Okay.
anybody else make because of how terrible it is.
Okay.
Think about this. What is
Okay.
going to be a better buffer between any country coming into America through Canada? 3 weeks of ammunition or no weeks of ammunition because the country doesn't exist? Boom. Crazy. I know. Secondarily, if there was a threat of another country wanting to invade America coming through Canada, we would most likely go into an allyship with Canada and have millions of troops in Canada. Boom. Thank you. Moving on.
Yeah.
Next argument.
Yeah. Wait,
You said
I
that
said
you want
3
Donald Trump.
hours.
One moment. You said that you want Donald Trump to be some type of king or some dictator. So right now, America's in a constitutional crisis because Donald
Yes.
Trump has disrespected the constitutional rights of American citizens, media corporations, and has straight up ignored orders from courts. And you are the reason why there's so many millions of Americans who proclaim themselves as a member of the party of common sense, a member of the party of true patriocy, respecting the American Constitution and respect for law and order. But then when the mask is off and you speak freely as you are right now, you tell us that you don't care about the American Constitution, you wish it didn't exist, and even though America exists as a country, right, and fought the Revolutionary War to rid itself of kings, that Donald Trump should be the king. It is the least patriotic, most traitorous thing that we have in our country in modern American history. It's terrifying, and it proposes a great risk.
Yeah, so and it's funny that you say all those things, right? I think now America's woken up to the idea that, you know what, we need a 2.0 version of the Constitution, and we need to start amending things and going about it. Do I wish that Trump would have did some of his executive orders through Congress and through legislation and everything? Sure, yeah, but you know what? The fact is, he got it done, and that's really what it matters is we're seeing results.
Oh yeah, what's your favorite Trump policy?
I like the fact that he went ahead. Well, I like executive orders. It's not really
which one?
a policy. I think the tariff. Well, for policy, I think putting tariffs on Canada is great.
Why?
Why? Because I want to collapse their government and force them in to be with the United States.
Okay, so you're for imperialism.
Well, no, I'm for taking them over because I love them. Because it's
No,
like
you
the
you
big
have
bro
to
and
wait,
little
wait,
bro.
wait. I'm so sorry. This view is literally so insane that you have to be a troll.
No. I'm 100%, bro. I host lives myself. I say the same thing and I promote this on my lives and stuff. Like 100%, we should conquer
saying
Canada.
that you want to invest in conquer and conquest to invade another country.
Uh-huh.
This ideology is something that we last saw when like Christian nationalist theocracies were invading other countries and killing everybody in it, regardless of their religious affiliation, because the Christians that they'd be killing would just be loved so much and go straight to heaven. Like, not only is this ideology so incredibly harmful, it's just not something that I've ever been presented with myself. Like, this is like something that we saw during the Holocaust. This is something that we see. We don't even see this in Russia. Russia doesn't even claim to love Ukrainians. That's why they're ethnically cleansing them. Not even something that we see in Israel with Palestine. They don't claim to love Palestinians. That's why they're ethnically cleansing them. This view is like so estranged. It's not even present in the most estranged governments, entities, and nations doing the most horrendous acts of ethnic cleansing and genocide today.
Yeah, but it's what our CIA does. Our CIA goes and destabilize other countries and put people who we want in power that will go ahead and push our agenda.
And I
align
disagree
themselves
with
us.
that.
Really? So when the United States puts Saddam Hussein in power,
can I ask you a question real quick? Because pivoting to the CIA is one thing. I just want to like clarify that you're like this manifest destiny. We love the Canadians, so we're going to destroy their country and overtake them type shit.
if they don't come willingly, I think it's a great idea.
Do you disagree with Russia's invasion of Ukraine?
Mm, no, not really.
Do you disagree with Donald Trump's proposed ethnic cleansing of the Gaza Strip?
Him doing it, yes, I disagree. Israel doing it, no, I don't disagree. And the reason being is because that's over a 75-plus-year war. Their fathers, grandfathers, sons, and daughters have both lost and took heavy losses on both sides. So we see, it was like, I think 2 years ago, they did an Ask Me project. And what they found out is when they went over there, I think it was 50, if I'm not mistaken, it's 50 and older. They want to see peace. And then when it was 18 or 30, they say they want to see war. And when they ask people, kids and teens under the age of 18, they say they can't wait to join up and continue the rhetoric of going after them. So we can see just by looking just off of that right there, right? This war is never going to stop.
Okay, so what you're iterating to me, by the way, is not true. What you're telling me, or what you mean to be telling me, but it's just littered with misinformation, is that there are some Palestinians who want a single, like, one-state Palestinian solution, and then there's some Israelis that want a single one-state Israeli solution. And what you're basically telling me is because there's individuals on each side
I never
that
brought
both
up
think the other land is
Israelis.
theirs, this will never stop. Therefore, the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians is justified.
Yeah.
So
But I wait, hold on real quick. I literally told you inside of the Ask Me project that was done, and that's
wait, one
strictly
second.
acid
I'm so
only.
sorry. You don't respect human rights, so I'm just not going to respect your right to speak real quick. We got Parker up here. Parker, you got to hear from this craziest strange guest. I've never heard more strange views. Tell Parker why you voted for Trump. I got to have him hear this. I really
Yeah,
gotta have
so
Parker hear
I
this.
voted for Trump because I want to see the expansion of the United States empire. I think we should just go ahead and invade Canada. They're a national security threat if another country were to land troops on the ground.
Wait,
Canada,
I have a question. So,
Okay.
you think there should be secured borders,
Yes.
but you think there should be an open border between the U.S. and Canada?
Yes, I think Canada should be the 51st state.
Okay,
Or
well, so you're
territory of the
advocating
United
for open.
States.
So you're advocating for open borders?
Yes, if they go ahead and sign for to be the 51st state, or they become a
would-
territory of the United States.
Why would territory of the United States? Why would you make Canada only one state?
Why not? They're not. They're like. Why not? They're like 40 million people. It's okay. It's not
You
crazy.
know how many people live in Iowa?
You know how many people live in California?
Yeah, but like, you know how many people live in Iowa?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't
There's like
know.
3 million people.
Okay. Okay. Would you like to? I mean, we could break Canada up into multiple states. I mean, I don't
There
really
you go.
care.
At least do that. One.
We could.
Two, right? Shouldn't we address the fact that, like, maybe it is the case that they don't want to join the United States? What about the rest of the world? Like, what about Mexico? Do you want Mexico to be a part of the U.S.?
I'd like Mexico to be a territory of the United States. I would like it, yeah, personally.
Okay.
But
So
but
why only a
Mexico
territory?
can
Why not
hold-
a state? Why not a state?
Because I'll just say it doesn't matter.
Oh, are they muted now?
These views are just like,
All right, my bad. I had a
These
phone
views
call.
are just like great. Cool. I'm okay with just like dropping this guy, then just never thinking about him again. Like he's literally so insane that like,
Yeah, but Trump wants to do it though. So I mean,
like,
like,
are you real? No, 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 no,
yeah,
no. Like, please tell me that you're just a troll.
no, bro. I can share this out. I can bring 100 people in here if you would like that would share the same views I view.
Dude, you're crazy. You shouldn't have the
Why is
right
it?
to vote.
Hey, Trump's in power because of people like me, and he holds the same views as I hold. What's wrong with that?
He
Okay,
shouldn't have the
so-
right to vote either.
So then here's my question, right? You also want Mexico, okay? Why not Central America? Why not South America? Why not the EU? Why not the rest of the world?
Oh, I do like your idea of a one world order with America leading it.
Jesus
But
Christ, dude.
but we got to
You are
start somewhere
insane. Are you
first.
actually advocating for the U.S. to own the entire globe?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think we should go ahead and nuke either Russia or China or Iran.
Okay, I don't believe this person.
No, you can't be
I know
real.
other people. That's so fucking crazy, dude.
I'm a pro-
Dude.
Good.
Oh my.
Thank you. Just get him out of here.
Dude.
I don't think I've ever heard. Like I've been debating. I just want to make this so incredibly clear to everybody watching. I've been debating for a little over 2 years now. That guess takes the cake. Period. Nothing else to say. I've heard a lot of crazy shit. I've literally debated Nick Fuentes, and that guy gave me the craziest arguments I've ever heard. That is the most deranged human I've ever spoken to in my life. I've never heard more sick arguments from a human ever. And it's literally so bad that I'm having a hard time convincing myself that he wasn't a troll. So why did you vote for Trump?
Lesser of two evils, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't really buy into the whole left versus right dichotomy. I think there's a lot bigger systemic issues at hand that screw over the average person. But you know, the system in America is what it is, so it's left versus right.
So why did you think that Trump was a better candidate?
A lot of immigration stuff, immigration, social issues mostly. Kamala was a terrible candidate, and a majority of Americans agreed. So
Actually, false.
he had more votes than her. He didn't have
Yeah,
a
it doesn't equate
plurality.
to a majority.
He didn't have. You're conflating plurality with majority.
What do you
He
mean by
did not have a plurality. Plurality is 50% or above. Majority is just between him and her. He got more votes. And I think she's such a terrible candidate.
When I say majority, I mean 50% and above.
That's a plurality. But anyways,
Is this like is this a wait? Actually, like I mean, I'm guessing what you're telling is what you're telling me like true, or is this just like made up?
no, it's not made up. And
Okay, like I have a question. Like, where does this come from? Like, in what way do we like? How? When did we ever use the term majority to not be a reference of over 50%?
So a majority is just more. He got more votes than her, especially between people who voted third party.
Wait.
and her
So
herself.
wait.
And write-in.
So
And you know,
majority just references.
This is a tangent that you're going on, and it doesn't matter
greater number.
because there's
Okay,
enough.
yeah, a greater number of individuals voted against Donald Trump than those that voted for him.
It's a useless tangent that I don't understand why you're going.
You were the one that suggested it.
And now I'm suggesting to move on because it's a tangent and unimportant.
Okay.
So the point I was making, I don't disagree that he was civilly held liable for sexual assault against E. Jean Carroll in New York City, which New York amended a law so she could go back a certain amount of years past.
Oh, I don't believe that.
And they did that specifically so she could civilly sue
Yeah, do you
Trump.
just, like usually believe in things without evidence?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you don't have any evidence that New York specifically amended the law for her. Like, I'm going to ask you what your evidence is, and you're going to be like, oh, what happened right before she did it? Like, you're just going to speculate.
Am I allowed to get on my computer and actually look up a source?
I mean, what is the source going to be? Like the AG of the state saying we are amending this law just for her? Like what's your what's your evidence that the state of New York intentionally amended the law for E. Jean Carroll?
So forget that. Okay, forget that.
We're forgetting a lot of
That's
things.
not the point that I was making.
We're moving on
The
from a
point
lot of things. Okay.
He was held. I conceded to you that he was held civilly liable for sexual assault, which is not rape. The judge used the word rape, but he was not convicted or held liable for. He was
Let's say
convicted
grape.
and held liable.
Let's say grape.
He was held civil penalty for Trump University. Sorry, Trump University held liable for sexual assault, 34 felonies.
Do you mind if I talk?
And there's enough, and over more people still wanted Trump than Kamala Harris.
Yeah, it's really sad.
That doesn't bode very well for Kamala Harris. So there's enough people in this country that would vote for a rapist,
for a grapist,
a felon.
I'm literally asking
etc.
you to say grape. Like, if you just say grape.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so you
Apologies.
said he was held liable for sexual abuse that is not grape. I could change your mind in under 30 seconds if you're good faith. Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Would you agree that the way you use the term grape would include the forceful, non-consensual penetration of a woman's female member with a male's fingers?
I mean, what I believe doesn't matter because the law is the law. And he wasn't held criminally liable. He was held civilly liable.
Okay. So just to clarify, I'm guessing because you say it doesn't matter, that means that you agree with me and that you do believe and colloquially define that term to include the penetration of a female member with a man's fingers, right? Hey, Parker.
I don't think grape is fingers. I think that's something else.
Really?
That's gross. That's a gross take. That's a gross take.
So if you don't
sound
think that,
weird.
if you don't think that grape includes fingers, what is grape to you?
It's not what I believe. It's what the law is.
Okay. I just want to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So if it's not what you think, and it's just what the law is, quick question. How many enslaved individuals were raped during American slavery?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, in accordance with your view, that grape is only
a tangent. That doesn't matter because
it's conceptually related. It is, and I'm going to demonstrate how right now. If you'd listen, it's because if you think that the law defines grape and that's a final verdict, then you think 0 enslaved individuals were raped during American slavery, as the law never defined forceful or unconsensual intercourse with an enslaved person as grape. Okay? Can we acknowledge that's fucking insane and that we obviously don't think that the law defines what grape is and isn't for us, but we define what is and isn't grape for the law?
I acknowledge that that's a straw man argument because I said nothing of the sort.
Yeah, no, you did say something of the sort because I tried to get you to agree.
Not about enslaved people.
I tried
said
to get.
nothing of the sort.
Okay.
You are assuming that I hold a position
so the law
that I do
doesn't.
not hold.
So the law doesn't decide what grape is and isn't for enslaved individuals, but it does for E. Jean Carroll. Why?
Because New York State held him civilly liable of sexual assault and not rape.
Oh, wait, so do you care that the current law is that it's considered grape?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I believe. I'm only talking about facts and things that actually.
Okay, yeah. So the current law says it's grape. Do you then believe that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so then you agree it's grape.
Okay. So again, tangent, straw man argument.
Bro,
Not even strawmanning. It's literally the law now. It's literally the law now.
Don't say tangent and straw man when you get fucking owned. Come on.
It's a straw man because you're assuming my position on something.
Assuming what position? The one that you said? I mean, you said it out loud. You said it out loud. All I'm just doing is taking the words that you said. I mean, did you not mean the words that you said? Were you saying that you don't believe those words that you said? You're just saying them? Like, I'm confused. How am I supposed to respond to the words that you were saying?
Parker, that's his position. That's his position, is that he doesn't believe what he says because he thinks that we're assuming his beliefs based upon what he says, which implies he doesn't believe what he says.
No,
Exactly.
Okay, so if I said, okay, I agree with you, Dean and Parker. Now it's 2 versus 1.
Well, actually, no, because
that's
I'd be
fine.
assuming what you believe based
That's
upon
fine.
what you say. Which
2
you think
versus
is a straw
1.
man.
That's fine. So can we move on?
Hey! I was just making an observation. I wasn't
Can
even
we
debating
move
it.
on to
I haven't
my
even
point?
debated you on a point. I just made an observation.
Okay, awesome. I can concede whatever because it doesn't matter. That's the minutia of the whole point that I was making, is that Americans would rather vote for a grapist, a 34-time felon, a scam artist, all the other things. How long did the Democrats go on calling him a fascist and a threat to democracy?
Oh, I'm a Democrat that still says it today.
They're all true. Everything you just said.
I know
Everything
it's
you just
true.
said was true.
I know
Yeah.
it's true. My point is, I know it's true. I believe those things about Trump. But my point is, more people still voted for Trump.
Yeah.
over Harris,
So
despite
then
all
why,
of those things.
So then why are you on that side of voting for him?
Because Kamala was an awful candidate, and Tim Walz
how is
was
Kamala
awful.
Harris? How is Kamala Harris worse than a 34 count felon held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman that bragged about walking the changing rooms of girls in Miss Teen USA because he quote unquote owns a place to inspect them without their consent? Right? Please explain to me.
Her word salad, for one. She's very fake as a person.
Word salad.
Yeah, come on.
Word
Have you heard
salad.
Donald Trump?
Wait.
A lot of her interviews.
Wait.
No, why you cut ABC?
Wait. Word salad worse than fascism grapists.
34 count felon, right? Undermine democracy.
Fascism,
like all of the things that you said. You said everything. Literally,
fascism
dude.
over word salad. What kind of view is this? I don't even need to debate you.
And also,
wait, can I,
what word salad?
I was going to say that in a moment. But what I just wanted to say real quick is like, I don't even need to debate you, okay? I disagree that Kamala Harris was just spurting a word salad, but I'm going to accept it because I'd take a word salad over fascism. I'd take a word salad over a constitutional crisis serving as a threat to the functions of the American democracy. I'd take a word salad over an adjudicated rapist 34 count felon that wants to ethnically cleanse personally 2.1 million Palestinians in Gaza. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of argument is this?